Hi, I'm Mike from Mike's Carburetor Parts. I'm working on a Rocheser 2-jet marine application carburetor, and I need to take the choke housing off and put it on another carburetor, and we'll clean this one up real good and put a new thermostat in it, put it on the other carburetor. Anyway, I thought I'd do a video on just taking this off. They're a little bit different. You see the thermostat's broken here, and needs to be a little slot in there so you can adjust the choke. So this is a automatic choke. Now this has this little baffle in here. It's a heat baffle. If you have one, that's great. Put it back in there. It's not the end of the world if you don't. Because you can't get them anymore. Most of them are missing off the carburetors. Now, most of these have a little screw in here to hold this piston lever in to the choke shaft. This one here is peened over the brass, so I'm going to grind this off. And normally, if I was putting it back on the same one, I'd just drill a hole, tap it, and put a screw in it. The other thing you can do to get it off would be to take the shaft out. In order to do that, you got to get the choke valve off, and to do that I would grind down these screws that are holding the choke plate on real good, and then this one you got to turn upside down to get the screws out, and then take the screws out. Be sure to grind them down, because chances are if you don't, you're going to break them off, and then you got to drill and tap. Okay, so if you take that out, you can slide the choke shaft out, and then this will come out in one piece. But I'm going to go get a Dremel tool. I'm going to grind this off, and we'll come back and finish this video. Okay, I got this thing ground off with a Dremel tool, this lever, and we pulled it off here. So let me get this out. Be real careful you don't lose this little stem right here. It'll fall out, and then you won't be able to get another one. Okay, so pull this housing off here. And I'm going to put it in our ultrasonic cleaner. You won't have one of those probably, so just put in whatever cleaner you have. Dropsies. And there you go. So I got it off. Don't forget this little gasket back here. We'll get it cleaned up, and then we'll reinstall it. Okay, let's put this choke housing back together. First we need the gasket, like so. Okay. Put the choke housing on. Okay. And we got our two screws with a Phillips head that goes in here. Alright, now we got to get our little piston in here. I've got it all buffed out. Be careful you don't lose this little pin. It'll fall out and you won't be able to find another one. Suppose you could make one out of a nail or something like that. Okay, fits in there like so. Then we'll get it lined up. Goes on a little post. Kind of will only go one way. And here's the screw. You might have to put a little washer on it if your screw isn't big enough. Okay. Now the important thing is that this moves right now and doesn't stick. If this is sticking in here, you may want to take this expansion plug out and get a wire brush or something inside there, a bottle brush, and clean it out really well. Also try a little silicone spray lubricant in there to help. That might help loosen it up. It's got to be really loose. Alright, so one thing I didn't point out was there was a little tube right here that goes from the carburetor to your choke housing. That's the vacuum tube, and that tends to pull, puts a little vacuum in here to pull the hot air from here into the choke housing. Okay. Now this one has a little baffle in it. They're nice to have. You can't buy them. If you have one, use it. If you don't, no problem. So, since this is an automatic choke, I'm going to put a gasket on it. I'll have to go find a new gasket, but for now, get through the video, I'll use this one. Okay, and you see with this end right here is going to go against the lever, and it's got to push counterclockwise, so we're going to put it in there. Okay, here's how you're going to adjust it. We're going to turn it. Now this is on the bench. You got to make sure your throttle isn't holding it closed. I'm going to turn it until it just closes, and then I'm going to turn it maybe another 1/8 of an inch or so, just to give it a little bit of a tension here, and then that's it. Put our retainer screws back on it. And off it goes. And I got to find all my retainer screws I got thrown around here. So, but you get the idea here. There's 3 screws obviously that goes on there, but for some reason I misplaced mine. But that's replacing the choke housing on this. This particular 2-jet is a Marine, but this it's the same on any automotive 2-jet that uses the what we call the integral choke mounted on the top of the carburetor. Okay, hope that helps. Thank you for watching.